James.
Thomas, what's the injury news? Anyone coming back?
Let me think. Not. It's going very well with Christian Norgaard. He trained with the team today. Probably be too early to involve him in the squad, but very, very positive and everything going to according to play. Could be possible next week.
And Pontus Jansson, is he still out?
He's still out, yeah.
How long do you think?
Yeah, that'll be. He'll be ready after the World Cup break.
And Aaron Hickey's still out?
Also the same, yeah.
So, how much are you missing Jansson at the back?
I think you always want to play with your captain and a very good central defender. I think in general we have good replacements. I think we got Ethan back, a big thing. I think Ben Mee has been fantastic. I think Sanka have done well to step in, and Christopher as well. So I think we have good replacements. But of course, I like to play my captain.
What's been the reaction this week after that 4-0 pressure?
It was tough 24 hours. I don't think I'd never ever experienced in my career, even at under 8 coach back in Frederiksværk, being down 3-0 after 12 minutes. So that's a little bit tough to take. But it's football. It happens. I know this group of players are a remarkable bunch of mentality guys, and they are very, very committed to bounce back tomorrow against Wolves.
What have you said after that defeat? What's been the message this week?
I try really to do my very best to be consistent, winning or losing 4-0 home to winning home to Man United, lose 4-0. We need to try to be consistent in our ways we're doing things. So we evaluated, looked the game back. This was relatively quick. We look at the 3 goals and the 4th goal. Boom, that's it. But I truly believe we win and learn. We win or learn. And last time we definitely learned a lot. Sometimes the learning can be very painful. But we will come back for this, I'm not in doubt.
1 win in 6 now. Are you concerned by this run?
It's a Premier League. I think there's a lot of clubs that are not top 6 that can get into these patches during a season. I look at the performances. The 2 standouts, of course, is the Newcastle, that I will say in a way was a freak game with 3 very big personal errors, and then this one also in another strange way also a freak one. So the important thing is to be sure that we are performing well tomorrow and going forward.
Has confidence taken a hit at all in the camp? When you get on a run like this, it could be tough.
Yeah, no, because I think actually it took a hit, and then a good performance and a win against Brighton, and then a very good performance against Chelsea. So yes, a hit, but nothing that we can't bounce back from.
And Wolves, a good time to play them? No manager, second from bottom?
As far as I know, they have a manager. Maybe it's not a permanent manager. Yeah, I think Steve is hopefully turning up tomorrow. You never know. Sometimes when they also need to bounce back, and they also have professional players that wanna do their best and play for their fans. So I expect a very difficult game. I look at that individual quality, and I'm thinking, wow, that is some good players in that team. So sometimes it's a matter of time before things are clicking. So I expect a very difficult task.
You look at the next few fixtures, it's Wolves, then Forest, then you've got City, Spurs, West Ham, and Liverpool. Does that make the next 2 games and 6 points even more important?
I'm only looking at the game tomorrow, not even looking at Nottingham Forest yet. So the only game I'm focusing on is Wolves. We need to do everything we can to top perform and get 3 points.
And in terms of yourself, do you feel any pressure? Obviously you've got huge credit in the bank. Do you feel any pressure when you go on a run like this, personally?
No, because I don't think it's been a crazy bad run in any way. I'm the can you say, I put the biggest demands on myself. So that is the most pressure I feel, and that is tough because I want us to perform well and do well. But now we have a very well-run club. We know what we're good at. We know that we just need to get out and perform.
Jake? Thank you. Hi. So I'm sure you're aware that you're 1 point better off in this stage last season, so more or less the same. How do you view, therefore, the way this season has gone compared to this point last season? How do you think it could be going forward? How do you feel about it?
I didn't know actually that we are one point ahead, because it's, for me, it's interesting where we are in the end of the season, and before we are in the end of the season, we need to have, there's a lot of games where we need to perform and constantly have that laser focus on the game, on the next game. The next game is against Wolves. Without looking too much into it, I think we are in this moment in time in a better place. Of course, we have had 50 games in the Premier League, so more experience as a group, as a club, by playing there. So we know what we want to do and how we want to perform. Constantly want to add layers to the team. I think players are going in the right direction. And when we have some injuries, there's others that need to step up, which they do.
I spoke to Matthias Jansson yesterday, and he said the Villa performance, he said it lacked the usual energy maybe that the players expect from themselves. I just wondered if A, that's something you also agree with, and B, maybe what you put that down to.
Yeah, sometimes it's crazy how much you analyze one game and you go through all different bits that, okay, was it because that we didn't perform. Sometimes it's maybe just down to that we conceded 2 goals after 6 minutes. Maybe that was enough to break the momentum, or make it more difficult mentally to cope with it, which of course is never an excuse. I'm just try to find solutions. Should be, the players, gather together on the pitch. Hey boys, stick to the game plan, discipline, keep going. Was it just for whatever reason they couldn't produce it again? But I don't believe that. We are one of the fittest team, and we are normally running very, very hard. So for me, that was a one-off. It's of course important that we bounce back. We come out with a lot of energy tomorrow, and we bringing both energy but also that running capacity.
Of course, he mentioned already that Wolves don't have a permanent manager. Aston Villa, when you played them, didn't have a permanent manager. Is this something that you can learn from that at all, or do you think maybe actually playing teams without a manager, they have a bit of an extra edge about them? Is it a bit tougher?
Ask me after Saturday. No, I think the Villa, we knew that they played at home in front of their fans. Let's say they played away, probably a tiny bit different. Now they have had Steve for 4 or 5 games, something like that. So, and he's trying to implement his ideas, and the Wolves have said that he will be there until at least the World Cup break. For me, having Steve there is just like having a manager, because he's been there for the whole time. That's how we have to work. So we know more or less what to expect from them tomorrow.
And I just wondered what you think about Wolves. Obviously, have been in the Premier League a few seasons now, a bit, almost a few years ahead of you guys. They came up, they stayed up. They never really looked like they've been in much trouble over the seasons. I just wondered if maybe they're the sort of club that a club like Brentford look at and say that's sort of the template for a club coming up in the Championship.
I think they've done very well. I remember them clearly. I was assistant coach here when we played them the second season, I think. I was here, and they were very good in Championship, and then they had the first 2 seasons in the Premier League, where I think they've more or less finished 7th or something, like top half. Very impressive. So I think we can learn from everyone, and Wolves is one of them that's done a good job, consistent in the recruitment, getting good players in.
Just lastly, I also spoke to Mikkel Damsgaard yesterday. He said that when he arrived, he wasn't physically up to
for what you wanted or for the Premier League, but he says he is now, or at least closer. Do you think maybe then we might see some more minutes out of him between now and the World Cup?
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely more physical ready. No doubt about that. He's training well every day in training sessions, doing everything he can to come back to that high level we all saw at the Euros 1.5 years ago. Sometimes that takes time, but he's in a good place, and it's just about to get out there on the pitch and try to perform. Thank you.
Ivan obviously came out quite strongly about the performance. Are you okay with that, because it was all sort of team-based, wasn't it? It wasn't having a go at him in particular, but he was quite forthright. Are you okay with his assessment?
I will be very disappointed if the players were not harsh on themselves and the team, because I try to be transparent and in the way I assess things, the way I communicate. So I think I was very fine. Also, you can't run away from a 4-0 defeat. So being down 3-0 after 12 minutes and then losing 4-0, end of discussion, then you haven't performed well. Then there's a few teams in this division that you maybe is never acceptable to, but I've definitely seen Man City better a few teams over the years. It will still not be acceptable to lose 4-0. So this time, yeah, no doubt about that.
You famously have the 24-hour rule with wins. Is it similar with defeats, not letting it get sort of everyone get 2 down, get back on it quickly?
Yeah, 100%. Chris had to remind me though this time, I think. That officially had 2 more hours to feel misery. So yes, I think it's so important because we need to move on. We can't get stuck in the past. Learn from it, react from it, and then we move forward. That's the only way.
This is the last home league game until Boxing Day. I mean, everyone knew what was coming, but it's going to be very strange for the fans. Are you hoping everything comes together on the day so that they can, really enjoy it, because it's going to be a long time without football at your stadium, obviously, and then there's the League Cup games still.
Yeah, definitely. I think in general, we've been very good at home this season, so we need to come out with energy, take initiative, play forward, be on the front foot. It's going to be so important. We need the fans to help us, to back us, which they do, to push us forward, to get us over the line, and the plan is definitely go there and attack and do everything we can to get 3 points.
And Wolves, they obviously are not scoring nearly as many might have expected. They're lower than people might have expected, but they still have some really quality players that can hurt you, haven't they? So are you highlighting that this could be a dangerous team to play?
Yeah, definitely. Also, if you look at the last, I think 3 or 4 performances in general, they deserve to score more goals. In general, they should have got more points out of it. I think over the last couple of years in the Premier League, Podence, Traoré, top players with strength. I think the midfield 3 with most likely Moutinho, Neves and Nunez, the new player they bought this summer, is just so high quality. There's a reason why Moutinho played where he did across his career, why Neves is constantly linked to bigger clubs, why Nunez was such a highly talented player. And then of course Costa up front, we can't underestimate his qualities as well.
Just finally for me, people talk about when players are missing, obviously, and you want players to step up, but I just wondered about Norgaard's always consistently top the stats in the Premier League for wing-back possession, passing. Are you really looking forward to having him back, given his importance to your team since you came up?
Yeah. There's no doubt that every team need their top players to play. City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Chelsea, all of them need their top players to play for them. Christian is one of our top players, so of course it will be nice to have him out there on the pitch. But when you don't have a player, others need to step up, and there's other relationships that are being created, relations, and that's football. So we will manage, and we have managed. But I'm looking forward to getting back in the team.
Thanks,
You're welcome.